Hi guys, this is Adam
And Phyllis.
from Alaska Cut the Cord, and we heard that you want to try traveling the Dalton Highway, or the James Dalton Highway, or the Haul Road. They're all the same. So, a little history about the Dalton Highway. It was built in 1974, and it starts north of Fairbanks on the Elliott Highway, and it ends at Dead Horse, Alaska, which is just south of Prudhoe Bay, where they drill for all the oil. It was named after James Dalton, who was the kind of an overseeing engineer, and he did some other stuff in Alaska, a long-time Alaskan, and it's pretty neat. But what we want to talk about today is what are some things that you can expect while traveling the Dalton Highway, just because it's on your bucket list. It's 414 miles. You're probably not going to make it on a tank of fuel, and you're going to need to get fuel along the way. Well, there's only a couple of spots you can get that. And how much did that cost?
It's $7 something.
It was $7.49 a gallon at Coldfoot, Alaska. And we also brought our own fuel to make up for it, but we still had to get fuel there twice. So that's a tough one, and that kind of goes along with services should you break down on the Dalton Highway. There aren't really any options. People will say that you should take 2 spares for your vehicle, and if you're pulling a trailer, 2 spares for that.
We didn't do that.
No, we had 1 and 1, but we got lucky, and we didn't get any flats. And I will say we got lucky, because the next thing we'll probably talk about on that same frame of mind is road conditions. Because why would you be getting all these flats if the road was good, right?
It's not.
The road, at least when we traveled it, everybody is saying that is the worst condition they've ever seen it since it was built. The completeness of the Elliott Highway was torn up, and mud and gravel and pilot cars. And the rest of it, well, let's just say it had rained for a week. And when it rains for a week up there, the graders can't run, they can't repair the road, and the potholes are just epic proportions. We get that a lot in Alaska anyway, but that road was incredible. Yeah, typically from Fairbanks to, say, where we were going, which was Galbraith Lake.
Yes.
That's where we were trying to get to for camping. Forgive the roosters. That generally takes about 16 hours. It took us 12 just to get to the Arctic Circle, which is another day away at that speed. So it was a tough road.
Yeah.
It was, and let's talk about the road. So the road's primarily gravel, right? And they're always working on it all the time, repairing it, fixing it, improving it. But then you'll see a chunk of blacktop, or as they call it up there, chip seal. Do not, I repeat, do not be lulled into a sense of relaxation.
Yeah. It's blacktop, we can go faster. No.
Right,
you can't.
That is 100% not the case. Because now when it gets a pothole, they don't repair the pothole, and they can't fix the road. It's frost heaved and incredibly rough. If anything, I'd recommend almost going slower on the blacktop. If you don't believe me, watch the video. You'll find out. Yeah.
Our eggs were scrambled in the shell.
Yes, Phyllis brought a dozen eggs, and I think 8 of them were broken. And the remaining 4, which we intended to have for breakfast one morning, they were actually scrambled inside the shell. I didn't know that could happen.
No.
Yeah, so it was rough. And you can definitely expect, depending on the time of year, if it's in the spring, generally an abnormal amount of dust. The dust of the highway is incredible. But if it's a rainy season like when we went up, oh my Lord, the mud. I mean, you could hear it splashing on the bottom of the truck, and it was tough. Everything was covered with mud. Just getting in and out of the vehicle, and you were covered with mud.
Yeah.
Just from touching the doors. Which brings us to our next topic, What kind of vehicle should you take on the haul road? Or should I say, what should you not take on the haul road?
Class C, Class A.
Yeah, RVs, I know I've seen people do it, and we had one in our group. I cannot tell you how much I do not recommend doing that. The road is so rough that in the RV in front of us, they had cabinet doors come off and everything come out of the cabinet while they were driving. Not to mention, it's heavy and it's two-wheel drive. You may need four-wheel drive at some point. It's that kind of road. So I really, really cannot recommend an RV. Maybe the new four-wheel drive Sprinter vans you could, but
Yeah.
but I wouldn't say your average Class C motorhome from 1980 should ever be on the haul road.
Not even ours.
No, not even ours, which is actually built for it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't take it down that road, just mainly because I don't want to spend a week cleaning it. We did a video using the DeWalt cordless pressure washer on how we cleaned off our little trailer. That was fine. But then there was the truck. And the truck, I actually took in the town to a car wash, a hand car wash, you do it yourself, called Mudbusters. I spent $80 and it took nearly 2 hours to clean my truck with a pressure washer. I mean, it came out nice, I guess, but yeah, the mud up there is definitely something to beware of. Delays and traffic. So the delays come from the construction of the road.
Yes.
And there were multiple pilot cars from the Elliott Highway to the middle of the haul road, where you wait and wait and wait. And
it gives you a lot of time to look around at the scenery.
Yeah, which is a good thing because
Yeah.
the scenery really is something to behold. But yeah, expect delays. There'll be plenty.
Yeah.
The next thing is the traffic. So you would think, wow, this road out in the middle of nowhere, how much traffic can there be? A lot. And I wouldn't say it's your normal kind of traffic. It's mostly like oversized loads and semi-tractors and trailers and pilot cars. And you will move over and let them pass, especially if you're going down like Chandelar Shelf and you've got semis behind you. They cannot stop. It is that steep of a road, or Adigan Pass. You get out of the way of the semis.
Yeah.
They own the road up there, and that's what the road was built for. So
it's their road.
It is their road.
Yeah.
So I would really exercise some caution and some courtesy when it comes to the traffic up there.
Yes.
Other traffic like brown bears and caribou, well, I guess you already know how to deal with that. Just stay out of their way too, especially the bears. Do not get out of the vehicle.
No.
Or feed them. There's stories about that too. Which leads to the wildlife that you might see on the Dalton Highway.
I was sorely disappointed at the lack of wildlife.
Yeah, at certain times of year, there's more than what we maybe saw, but just past the the Yukon River Camp, we did see a really nice brown bear.
Yes.
He had no cares in the world about us at all. He was not going to get out of the way. He was not going to wait for us to pass, and he was waiting for us on the other side of the road. Up there, it's legal to hunt, but 5 miles from the center line of the road on either side is bow only. There was no chance I was getting out of the truck with that bear waiting for me. He literally crossed the road and was waiting for us.
Turned around and was watching us.
Yep. The next one you can see is moose. Did we see any moose?
No.
We saw no moose.
Nope.
No moose at all. So, but you can see moose up there. The next one would be wolves. And unfortunately,
we didn't see any of those either.
We didn't see any wolves. So that kind of sucked. They're always kind of cool to see. And the next one, the primary one, would be caribou. And we saw caribou. Not the giant herds that you see on TV, but the onesie-twosies just hanging out eating all day. And that was our goal for going up there anyway. So yeah, you will see caribou. They're not the sharpest animal, and they will just cross in front of you.
They're
And
kind of like a cow, weren't they?
yeah, I'd say
Yeah.
they are. So you definitely want to beware of them because they're like 600 pounds. Let's say 300 to 600 pounds. So if you do hit one, expect vehicle damage.
And with the lack of service, you're not going to get a tow truck up there.
Yeah, if you broke down, I'm not sure where you go because you are hours and hundreds of miles from any possible service that's going to help you.
Yeah.
And that's why your vehicle must be in the absolute best condition it could be. I would recommend a four-wheel drive anytime. I would recommend never taking a car or an RV. The potholes, they're like the kind of potholes where you lose a wheel, not just get a flat, you lose the wheel.
Dent the rims.
Yeah, it was tough. So the next thing, the weather. What might you expect on the Dalton Highway as far as weather goes?
Well, today they're getting 6 to 12 inches.
It snows every month of the year in Prudhoe Bay, which you're really close to if you go all the way up to Dead Horse. So really watch your forecast. It actually caused us to leave 2 days early because we had a two-wheel drive RV with us, and we were on the north side of Adigan Pass, which there's just no way we're getting out of that.
No.
You're staying for the winter, I guess. So rain, we could definitely expect rain.
Yes.
Pretty much anytime, all the time. You also can expect wind, and we had 10 to 15 mile an hour wind. It wasn't terrible. And you also, if you're up there early in the fall, you could expect 90-degree weather and sunshine.
Yeah.
And that's a real thing. You wouldn't think all the way up there within eyesight of the Arctic Ocean that you would have 90 degrees, but you do.
Yeah, then you walk for a minute and it gets really warm really fast.
Oh yeah, especially chasing caribou.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can expect all types of weather up there. Most importantly, you have to be prepared for those. If you're not, I would have a set of tire chains. I would have sleeping bags, emergency kits, the whole 9 yards, because nobody's coming by to help you. So, and the semis are just on a mission, especially, like Adigan Pass. If you see a semi coming down Adigan Pass, wait for him at the bottom.
Yep.
Don't get in his way. If his brake should fail or anything like that, there's nothing he can do.
No.
And judging by some of the guardrails we saw up there, they get used a lot. So, yeah, definitely give them a wide berth. So the next thing I would say that you could definitely expect, and this is probably half the reason why you're going, is the majestic views that you can find along the Dalton Highway.
Yes.
And
they didn't let me drive, so I got to see them all.
Yep, she got to see all of them,
yep.
which is fine. It's really something. I mean, you're gonna cross Adigan Pass, and you're gonna do the Chandelier Shelf, and you're gonna do the Beaver Slide. All these little parts of the road that you hear about on like Ice Road Truckers, because that's what made the road really famous. It's always been a thing. They just made a TV show about it. So that's pretty cool to actually travel the road for that reason. But the point of this video is to make sure that you're aware of some of the dangers, along with all the nice things that you may see on the road. Was it a worthwhile trip?
Yeah.
I'd say it was.
Yeah.
I don't know but a handful of people that have done it, so it was pretty cool. Our goal for going up there, we were on a hunting trip, and while we were not ultimately successful as far as harvesting an animal, we were successful in having an experience of a lifetime. So I'm not telling you not to go, I'm just saying be prepared.
Be careful.
Yeah, please be careful up there. It's yeah, a lot of wildlife can get you up there, and if the road doesn't. So yeah, that's all we got. I hope you enjoy the video. If you do, like and subscribe. It really helps our channel out. And
comment.
And comment. Yeah, definitely comment.
I want to know if anyone else has done it and
yeah,
you want to do it.
Yeah,
let us know.
Yeah, and definitely ask questions too if you feel the need, because we've done it now. So yeah, that's all we got for you. This is Adam
And Phyllis.
from Alaska Cut the Cord. Love you. Bye.